Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and today is going to be my TBR for the month of January. I am pre-filming this a little bit because I am going out of town for the latter part of December. So right now it's like December 16th, I think. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and do my TBR game. I'm still playing Sorry to pick my TBR. The way this game works, since it is the start of a new year, I will just give you a brief rundown. I play the game Sorry. It was one of my favorite board games as a kid, and I just go around the board. If I get into the safe zone or the home zone, I start over again with a new color the next time. Or if I do it in the same round, then I just start over. We're starting a new round because it is a new year, so I'm gonna start off as a new round. I draw cards. The cards have numbers and instructions to move forward or go back. Each space on the board has a prompt, and I pick a book off of my TBR to fulfill that prompt. It's pretty basic. Let's go ahead and see what the first prompt that I have to read for this month's Sorry game is. Since it is a new year, we are going to be starting back at start. I'm going to start drawing 4 cards, and if I get a Sorry, I will add to my TBR and add cards as we go. So first, we have move forward 2. Perfect. 1, 2, contemporary. So the first prompt that I landed on was read a contemporary, and for this I'm going to be reading Lucky in Love by Casey West. This is a YA contemporary that's been on my TBR for a while now. The premise is this girl ends up buying a lottery ticket and winning the lottery. I think she's like a teenager in high school, and everyone starts treating her really differently except for this boy that she works with at the zoo, whose name is Seth, I think. So the premise is, I think, their love story and how she has to deal with coming into this amount of money. I'm curious to see how this one is gonna go. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this book. I think it was recommended because I liked the statistical probability of love at first sight, which actually is now a movie on Netflix called Just Love at First Sight. The movie's cute. I remember liking the book too, but it didn't really stand out to me a ton. But I think that's where I got this book recommendation from. So I am interested in reading this. It is from 2017, which is kind of old now. It's like almost 7 years old. But I am very excited to get this one off my TBR. Next card. Move forward 11. A book in a series. The next prompt that I landed on was to read a book that is a part of a series. And for this, I'm just gonna pick up whatever book is next in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. So I read the first book. It was on my November TBR and I finished it at the beginning of December. If you've seen my mid-month wrap up, I talk about it there. I'm hoping to read at least one other book in that series this month. I do have an ebook copy that has like the first 4 books in one. And that's how I read the first one. So I'm hoping I can read the second one the same way. If I do that, then I will pick up the third book. If I don't do that, then I will just pick up the second book. You get it. This is a paranormal romance series about the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And basically in this world, vampires are at a war with these creatures called lessers, which are humans that don't have souls anymore and are trying to kill the vampires. And it's just a series of paranormal romances that follow each of the different guys in this Black Dagger Brotherhood. And then the subplot throughout all of the books is about this war with the lessers. So I'm curious to see how the series goes. If at any point I'm not having a good time anymore, I will DNF the series. I don't have a problem doing that, but I liked the first book well enough, and so I'm going to continue in it. All right, move forward 11 again. It's a book with queer rep. The next prompt that I landed on was to read a book with queer rep. And for this, I'm going to be reading Kept Animals by Kate Milliken. And this is one of the oldest books on my TBR, or one of the books that I've had on my TBR the longest. It's like the second or third book that I added to my Goodreads TBR when I got Goodreads. I'm pretty sure the premise of this book is that it's a dual timeline. And one of the timelines is like present day with this teenage girl. And then the past timeline is her mother. And I don't know if her mother has a queer relationship or where the queer rep exactly is. But I believe they grow up on like a ranch or a farm type situation. That's where they live. And I'm just very curious to read this one. My library does have an audiobook copy, which means it'll be pretty quick and easy for me to get through. So I'm excited to give this one a shot. And last card, maybe move backwards 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. A mystery. And the final Sorry prompt that I landed on this round was to read a mystery. And for this, I'm going to be reading Saving Ruby King by Catherine Adele West. I think it's Adele or Adele, I'm not sure. But this book is tagged as like literary fiction and mystery. So I think it's going to be like general fiction with a mystery in it, but it's following this teenage girl in the south side of Chicago whose mother has just been murdered, and she has a really abusive father, and so now she's stuck living with her abusive father, but she has a best friend who's like, no, you can come stay at my house. And then the best friend's dad, who is the pastor of their church, for some reason wants his daughter to stay out of this situation. And there's some sort of like tie with 3 generations of these families. That is the mystery that you're finding out about. I'm very curious to see how this one goes. I'm really excited to read it. It was published back in 2020. I don't remember how I heard about it. This is something that I've sort of mentioned before. I have like 1,500 bucks, almost, I think like 1,300 bucks on my Goodreads TBR, and a lot of them I don't know how they got there. I don't remember what they're about. So I'm just sort of like picking and choosing through them, and I'm trying to clear some out, but also like prioritize the ones that sound really interesting to me. So this is on that list. It's a book that's been on my TBR for a while. It's an older book on my TBR, and I just want to read it and see if it's for me. So I'm very excited. Let me know in the comments down below, as always, if you've read any of these books and how you felt about them. I do have one more book to talk about that I'm planning on reading in January, and that is for the BUZZWORDATHON. So last year I did attempt to participate in BUZZWORDATHON, which is a readathon hosted on YouTube by Kayla from Books and Lala. She doesn't actively host it. She just gives you buzzwords at the beginning of the year or in December the year before, and gives you a buzzword for each month, or like a theme of buzzwords, if you will, and you're supposed to pick books that you want to read that contain those buzzwords in the title. And the buzzword for January is there, and there. The book that I'm going to read for this one is called They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry. And this is described on Goodreads as a magnetic tale of betrayal, art, and ambition set in the world of professional ballet, New York City during the AIDS crisis, and present-day Los Angeles. So I'm very excited to read this one. I do tend to really like books set in the 80s. I'm really excited to read this one. I also am really like fascinated by the ballet world and things that I've heard about it. I've never really been involved in it. I don't know. It's just, I like going to see theater and performances and ballets and operas and stuff like that. And I was a theater kid in high school, but like as an adult, I was never involved in that world. And I never really was like that involved in it in high school anyways. I was just in my like, I was in a local theater group, and then I did my high school plays. But it is something that is like very interesting to me to read about and very nostalgic to hear about. I am very excited to read a book that is set in that world. And I'm just really excited to see how this topic is handled and tackled, and what the like main storyline is of this one. So I'm hoping again to do BuzzWordathon vlogs. I don't know if I have any other books that fit the there theme. So I don't know if I will be reading other books in January for the BuzzWordathon vlog, but I'm probably going to vlog my experience reading this book. I might not do that since it's just one, but we'll see. But I did really enjoy vlogging my BuzzWordathon experiences that I did this past year. I thought that was really fun. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Let me know if you've read this book and how you felt about it. Also, let me know if you are planning on participating in BuzzWordathon, what you are reading for January, and maybe I'll get an idea to pick something else up. But that's going to be it for my TBR for the month of January. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos from me, you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!